Hello everybody, welcome to our video session on regional organizations. In this video, we are briefly going to focus on international non-governmental organizations and their roles in a regional perspective, which is covered by chapter 8 of the textbook. Let's start with learning outcomes. After you finish this chapter, you can understand the role of international non-governmental organizations in world politics. You can differentiate international non-governmental organizations from other non-state actors, and also you will be able to learn about international international non-governmental organizations' contribution to the international and regional intergovernmental organizations. International non-governmental organizations assume roles where national governments are unable to or unwilling to address a certain issue. So in order to fill in the void that has been left unattended by national governments, international non-governmental organizations taking significant roles. Particularly after the Cold War, their number increased and their roles and their types diversified, and international non-governmental organizations such as Amnesty International or Greenpeace, they become relevant and influential in international politics. They play different roles both in democratic and non-democratic countries. The involvement of international non-governmental organizations in world politics also brings need of significant alterations in existing analysis, paradigms, and theories. For instance, Joseph Nye and Robert Cohen argues that there is a traditional understanding, state-centric understanding in international relations, which emphasizes the role of nation states as the only actor of international relations. They consider international relations as interstate relations. So in order to understand these complex interactions between states and non-state actors, they develop a new term which is called complex interdependence. There's also another scholar, Anne-Maria Slaughter, also criticize the existing hegemonic or traditional understanding, state-centric understanding, which emphasizes the role of nation states and intergovernmental organizations. And she also emphasizes a new understanding that includes also non-governmental organizations' influence in international politics. The end of the Cold War, of course, created greater opportunities for the international non-governmental organizations. The players of international politics had more incentives toward international cooperation, first of all. Also, recognition of global and regional problems by the international community has increased the significant role of international non-governmental organizations. And the international non-governmental organizations may easily adapt themselves to these changing international circumstances and avoid complex procedures, which makes them flexible in the conduct of international interactions. Another topic is definition and classification of international non-governmental organizations. So non-governmental organizations refers to an independent voluntary association of people acting together on a continuous basis for some common purpose other than achieving government office, making money, or illegal activities. So the majority of non-governmental organizations become engaged with human rights issues, environmental issues, conflict resolution, humanitarian aid, social diversity and justice, gender issues, sustainable development, and disarmament. Peter Willits defines 5 principles in order for an international non-governmental organization qualify for the definition of the United Nations. The first principle, they need to work in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the UN. defined by the UN Charter. They should follow fair representation by members, establish a headquarters, and employ officers. International non-governmental organizations, in order to qualify for the UN definition, should be also a non-profit organization. They should declare that they will not rely on a violent measure, and finally, they should not interfere with the internal affairs of states according to UN. Another and final topic is the relationship between international governmental organizations and intergovernmental and regional organizations. Intergovernmental organizations, which created by governments, so members of intergovernmental organizations are states, unlike international non-governmental organizations. They offer opportunities for the involvement of non-governmental organizations in both policymaking and legal processes. The UN Charter, for example, recognizes consultative status of international non-governmental organizations. Article 70 and 71 involves the recognition of international non-governmental organization status and participation in the UN proceedings and initiatives. Therefore, for instance, many charity organizations, humanitarian organizations, such as, for instance, Red Crescent and Cross, contributing UN activities all around the world. Or there are some different human rights international non-governmental organizations. They also play important roles in UN activities. An increasing number of international non-governmental organizations so engage in the activities of different UN bodies. The Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations at the UN is responsible for matters concerning the admission and accreditation of non-governmental organizations into the UN system. It directly reports to the Economic and Social Council, which is a principal body of the United Nations. The decisions of the Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations are considered as recommendations without having a legally binding effect, of course. At the regional level, the Council of Europe and the European Union also acknowledge the contribution of international non-governmental organizations. For example, the European Council or the Council of Europe recognize the legal personality of international non-governmental organizations. Since 1952, the Council of Europe has introduced a consultative status for international non-governmental organizations. In 2016, the Council established a participatory status to international non-governmental organizations. The European Union is another international intergovernmental organization which has maintained cooperation with international non-governmental organizations since the 1990s. International non-governmental organizations made extensive contributions to legal, political decision making, legislation, and to executive deliberation at the European Union, and also a role in enhancing the status of civil society within the EU is significant for European values as well, and international non-governmental organizations provide useful information for different kinds other than governmental or official bodies. So thank you very much for your participation into this video session. This is the end of the video sessions for regional organization course. I hope these brief videos will help you understanding the content of each chapter. However, this is only a assisting additional material, so this is not your main material for this course. Please go and read your textbook because textbooks are your main materials for your courses. Thank you very much for your participation and stay healthy.